As the clock struck midnight, Cape Townians were celebrating in style, literally. For not only does 2014 mark 20 years of South African democracy, but also the start of the city's reign as world design capital. Following in the footsteps of Turin, Seoul and Helsinki, Cape Town has been given the opportunity to showcase to the world their design past, present and potential. And for Cape Town, the emphasis is on potential, determined to prove that design is not a superficial concept, but rather a problem-solving enabler. And for a city and a country with so many livability issues to resolve, the World Design Capital organisers have invested wisely.
I think what they saw here was a make-do capability dealing with local materials, local conditions and indigenous knowledge. So in a way, very little artifice about it. There's a problem there, let's go and fix it. So I think the grittiness, there's all this human activity, about 4.1 million people running around this area every day solving problems, getting on with their lives. We know that the projects are at various stages of maturity, but there's an opportunity to help those that are really emerging, clustering around the inventors, if you like, to create a sustainable idea.
The Langa Quarter Precinct is one of the 450 projects out of the 1,253 submissions to be part of the 2014 official programme. This is an inspiring township regeneration initiative working with the community to encourage entrepreneurship and cultural resilience to create a vibrant and dynamic addition to Cape Town's urban offering.
What we're doing here with the Langa Quarter is essentially unlocking the potential that already exists in the community, and it's getting the community to make what lies all around interesting enough for investment to flow towards it. It's an exercise in how do we create jobs, make money out of the opportunity which is everywhere around us. I used to say to the community, Langa is a diamond, it's a gem. And if you scratch the surface, you see the diamond underneath, and if you polish it, we can realise that. But it doesn't take people outside of Langa to do that. We got to capture that and showcase that now.
Pride is a natural asset being incubated here, from a black plaque scheme honouring the township's noteworthy residents, to houses doubling up as galleries to showcase local artists. For 2014, social entrepreneur Tony Elvin launched an architectural competition to revitalise the neighbourhood's HQ. So intriguing was the potential that Cape Town University's first-year architecture students asked if they could join in.
It allows people to dream, and design has got to be about dreaming, that first stage. How I'm going to do it comes later, and I'm hoping that what World Design Capital will show the city that actually they've been too tame. And if they want to bring about change, they have to start thinking out of the box. And World Design Capital has shown that there is an appetite. There's a really big appetite for difference and for change and for design. And I think there's going to have to be a few changes to some of their 5-year plans, because World Design Capital is up the ante.
Another big theme for me from World Design Capital is that, quite by surprise, we've gotten into the empowerment business. I think successive governments have made us wait for things. And I think that given the rate of urbanization, given the extreme pressures that we have to solve daily, people have had to take the solutions into their own hands in a way. So there's a very inventive way of a surge that is solution-oriented, that we can feel coming from the ground up.
Cape Town World Design Capital's slogan is Live Design, Transform Life, encouraging people to understand that design is intrinsic to the growth and the competitiveness of a city. The soft and hard architecture of South Africa's apartheid history make Cape Town an interesting case study for urbanists.
I think we won because our story was an honest story. We are 20 years into democracy. We're looking back on where we've been. As a city, as a country, doing as much as we can to design a democratic space for everyone. Unlike other cities, we have these challenges and we're open about being this urban laboratory for the world. And I think Design Capital is our magnifying glass and our platform for both celebration and introspection.
One other project in the official calendar is urbanist Rashik Fattar's city walking tour.
Over the 2 hours, it's really each person becoming the mayor of Cape Town and being actually challenged to think about these questions we pose to them. So yes, we cover the facts and the history and the recent investments, but we really do challenge them to think about what livability means for hopefully every citizen in Cape Town. Reaching citizens is so important. Making them part of World Design Capital, this is just perhaps one way of doing that. Having them look at buildings and spaces suddenly in a different way, things that ordinary people might not have seen because they haven't been exposed to thoughts on architecture or design. So making it inclusive in terms of knowledge and making them feel that they own the city.
Ensuring Cape Town's moment in the spotlight is not an elusive one. Designer Porky Heffer looks on 2014 as an opportunity to mobilize the design community and incentivize it. A former ad man, he understands the power of creative collaboration and champions the importance of homegrown craftsmanship.
Mass manufacture is very difficult in South Africa. We don't have the numbers to meet in a market. So it's very difficult for us to do a high production run that we can start making a profit. And I think that World Design Capital will really sort of highlight the talent and the creativity and get people to be proud of South Africa, proud of South African design. Already what's happening in the World Design Capital is you're meeting a hell of a lot of people and you're realizing they got the same problems. How can we start collaborating and working towards a solution as opposed to us working in these little pockets? And the real world is not internet chat. This is where you have a real chat, where you actually have to face the consequences, but not face negative consequences. Look for the positive opportunities that are rearing their heads, because there are so many opportunities in this country, but we are tending to expect things as opposed to going, okay, I now have the opportunity, let me go and take it or make it.
The World Design Capital promotional ribbon wrapped around a city is most valuable if ambitions are for legacy. And Cape Town's timely design for social change agenda is mindful of this.
The death of Madiba has reminded us in many ways of our true transformation mission that maybe over the last 20 years we put a bit on the back burner. And I think just seeing how the world mourned with us, revisiting what his early ambitions were, what his goals, what he stood for, gives us a sense of a mission. 20 years ago was just the starting line for us, and it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And so I think that there's an opportunity here also to be very sober and very serious about what it is that we're doing here and what will the circus leave us, and hopefully not just empty cages. And if I can, through the efforts of this project, just awaken possibilities for maybe some kids of between 18 and 28, though that time that you start making decisions about your own identity and what your contribution to your community is going to be. If we can expose some kids to design thinking, some of the design disciplines, and in 10 years' time they can say, well, that happened in 2014, then my work's done.
In Cape Town, for Monocle, I'm Gillian Tobias.